You are live. All right. All right. All right. There's my phone telling me I just went live. That's good. Lots of leather crafts there. Hey, man. Hi, Howard. How you doing, man? Uh, yeah, we had a ball there, man. It was a ball. That's what I want to talk about. The event. Then we're going to try to roll back into that truck camping or car camping deal tonight. So we'll sit there. We got people on there pretty good. There's Trapper Dan. Hey, man, what's going on? I was just on the phone with him, talking to him. Said, dude, I got to go. But yeah, he didn't get to go this year. He had other commitments, which sucked. And I told him I was going to rub it in with him missing this show. This, I'll tell you what, guys, other than Blackie Thomas, this event it's just there, man. It's just a good event, guys. It had about 175, 180, last I looked, people. Uh, plenty of uh, vendors there. Uh, Eli was there. I met him a couple years ago at Trailheads. He did like the camp cookie. You donated and he fed you good breakfast and lunch. Way too much food. Ate way too much. Hey Dean. Hey Blue. It was man. If you could just, they had axe throwing again, knife throwing, the fire challenges for the kids and the adult. They were great to watch. I didn't get to see it all, because I'm running my little booth, and great to have my brother from Lutz's Leathercraft. He showed up with some of his leather gear. He did good sales there. Like I said, I mean, we sat around, sailed, talked to everybody, but ate way too much. The food was killer. I want to say hey to Pam and Vern. They kept us fed. Trinity Sainer was there with her mom. We were in the booth. She was keeping us fed. Hamburgers. Every time we turned around, we were eating something. So you ain't going to go hungry here, man. There's too much food at them events. But I really encourage you guys, if you're somewhere around this area, is to go to Central Ohio Bushcraft. But all the people I knew, I had a 2-hour trapping class, and I had a couple comments. Well, if I knew you was 2 hours, I'd have brought my chair. I said, well, it was on the schedule for 2 hours, and it went like a blink of an eye. I had a ball, man. It was. I was on fire. It was coming off my tongue pretty easy. A lot of people was, we were into it pretty good. This is my first time setting up snares to let people actually get their hands on and see how easy they really are. My brother was helping us. Trinity was helping us, helping people. I think that went over pretty good. I was just on fire, guys. It's one of them times where 2 hours went like 15 minutes on that show. And I got a lot of good feedback. Everybody really liked the show. They learned a lot. They understand, in the trapping business that, we release animals. And I think that I had a lot of people come up to me that didn't understand that, I selective harvest my critters. I think the more knowledge I can, pass out there, the more understanding people understand about trapping. I was showing my, what they call a relief jaw or an open jaw trap, and it just lets less pressure on the animal. I don't think people realize that we do, try to do as best we can with the animals as we can while we're trapping. And I think that really affects people knowledge, thinking, we've heard it over the years, it's cruel and stuff. So I got a lot of good feedback on it. I was really surprised. But it was, I'm reading comments. Hey, William, Blue, worth every minute. Fastest 2 hours at the gathering. Thanks, Dan. Good evening, all. It went fast. That 2 hours, went pretty quick. But I enjoyed everybody there. It was a great crowd. I love trying to do one-on-one. After the 2 hours, I was still talking about trapping 2 hours later after the class. Uh, and I try to make sure everybody gets their questions in and tries to answer every question. So I have a ball. But like I said, with my brother coming down there, we had a ball together. Jonathan Frisbee was there. Uh, we had some rain the first night, pretty dry, shower for maybe a half hour, good straight down shower, gully wash. I stayed dry. Trinity's mom, I think, got wet. Her hammock got wet. She slept in the truck, got it dried out, was back in the hammock. As far as I know, we did really good. JJ from Fuel the Fire with Mike Denny was there. Awesome guys. Them two guys is awesome guys. And I keep saying this, guys. I get the event, yeah, I'm considered the trapper of the group, but guys, there is so much knowledge walking around there for free. You pay to get in, and you can pay to do certain things, but at any time, can you stop somebody and say, hey, man, what do you think of this? And they're willing to stop and work with you. And then next thing you know, you got 4 instructors, 5 instructors around you, showing you how to get by or just having discussions on this stuff. And I think that's what I like. I learn something every time I go. I'm like a little kid walking around there. What's next? What's that shape of knife? Why did you build it that way? Why are you running that axe? And I think that's why it's so unique. There's a lot of families that go to this. It's family oriented. The drinking was at a level where it was all cool. It's kind of not talked about. Hey, Pam, I see you on there. Priceless knowledge walking around. You ain't kidding, Blue. I talked to everybody at that event. Jamie Burley was there. I'm throwing out these big names, man. Jamie Burley, that guy's awesome, man. Just to sit down and let him talk an hour. We went up to the fire and listened to his stories about hunting and stuff. Excellent. Just sitting around talking about the stories and the knowledge of hunting and what his is in northern Michigan. His is different than mine in Southwest Ohio. So, I know it sounds like I keep preaching, but you guys got to go to this event. Find one close to you, go and get to know the people because they're all like-minded. I was telling Pam earlier, I was telling them, I said, you kept us fed. You and Vernon kept us fed. They killed their food. I brought food with me, and I think I ate my bag of Funyuns and I passed out some Slim Jims. And I did eat my chocolate donuts, which I shouldn't have. But I ate them on the way there. But like I said, total blast, man. If you walked away and didn't know nothing there, that's your own stinking fault because that place was over. The cup runneth over of knowledge at Central Ohio. Put it that way. Great time. It was a 4-day event. I got there Thursday. It rained the beginning of the day. After that, we had some showers at night. I didn't even notice, but excellent weather. It was in the 70s, low humidity, dropped down to the 60s for nighttime, good sleeping weather. We did lose the main water on our showers and toilets on the last day, so everybody was on the scramble on that one, but we made do. But I just wanted to pass it along because of what I've seen. My class, I'm going to try to get it up, and you can see my class on YouTube, but there's plenty of pictures floating around. I want to thank my brother for filming it. Trinity Senior, she helped film it with my GoPro. I haven't even looked at the footage of that yet. But I just can't preach enough, man. This is my favorite, one of my favorite ones to go to. It's an hour and 15 minutes from my house. There's John Frisbee and Pam and Vernon. They drove, all the way from Florida. He's from Minnesota. There's some people who rode a long time for this event. So just wanted to pass that on. I know I didn't have a whole lot going on today on this event. I'm trying to get back, cutting grass and catching back up. I take 4 days off, and it really backs me up. I had to get my sales out. The bag sales are doing way better than we expected. I want to thank you, everybody who's got a bag. If you haven't got one, they're either in the mail or we're waiting on the next run. You guys were awesome about I didn't expect to sell that many bags. I really did. And it put me behind. If you got a bag and you've seen it come up October 3rd, I actually put all the postmark date because we were saving money because the post office increased their shipping rates 30% on me. I've already received the money, so I went ahead and dated them that way. But it looked like I sent them out October 3rd, which didn't. I still waiting on them to come in. I'm getting pretty caught up on them, but it's we got more coming in. And if you're waiting, man, thanks for your patience, because I told Blackie we thought we figured how many we'd sell, and that was wrong. That was gone, man, out the window. So I'm waiting on the next shipment to get here. Should be in the middle of next week, hopefully. Everything goes good. Uh, that's what buckets are for. Yeah, there you go. I think they were being used too. Uh, but we may do. We're all bushcrafters and woods people. We'll make do. So it wasn't a disaster. It was just an inconvenience. Everybody got home safe that I know of. You know, some of them drove far, like I said. It was just amazing. It was just an amazing time. I felt blessed, man, that I got out there and done it. I didn't mention a lot. I was sick the weekend before that. I didn't know if I was even going to make it. So I got over that pretty quick and was there. So I was pretty happy. So it was good times. Anybody got any questions about Central High Bushcraft, man? I mean, there's most of you guys was there that I know on my page. So it was a lot of them. But I just wanted to rehash what it was about and what you guys really missed. Even if you show up for one day, it's worth the one day just to go. They can handle smell paint on a conibear trap. I do paint on my traps. I use a 50% concoction. I also use mineral spirits to break the paint. The thing about paint is all the fumes in it. You know, once I paint my traps, I don't really paint them. I dip them, and I'll have a video on that. I actually have a video from last year. I'm going to post it. But you can once I dip them and pull them out, I do it a couple times. I do my snares the same way, and you can't have heavy paint on. So I really thin the paint out, dip them and dry them. Once they go fully dry, and I leave them outside for a week because it's not going to hurt nothing, there's usually no smell at all. In fact, on the snares, I use bare hands to set snares. I'm not really worried about the scent on snares. On dirt sets, people really panic. If you're out in the woods, the coyotes know you're there. If you touch a fence post, you know they're there. If you get on the knees with the ground, on the ground on your knees digging a trap, they know you're there. The thing is how long does your scent last? It's not going to last 24 hours out there, especially after heavy dews and rain and wind and everything like that. So, yeah, let them air out. Once you air them out, you can't smell the paint on your car. You can paint your office and it stinks in here for a week, but after that, it's gone. It all evaporates off of it. Wish you had been there and being in England. Yeah, you got a little bit of swim air, man, being in England, trying to come over. But it would be nice if you could ever come over, man. As soon as I got home, I ran out and got the stuff to make snares. Good. How do you make lock from lock washers? I don't use the lock washer. I just use a standard washer. The lock washers are bent and they're offset to be compressed. All locks from washers, I get it now. Yeah, I just drill 2 holes on the opposite side of the washer and bend it 90 degrees in the vise. Just like that. Just bend it over. You got a hole here, a hole here. Really simple, man. Really simple how to do them. You can buy them locks off F&T. I tell you what. I tell everybody why I go to F&T for my supplies. Number one, when you're building snares, there's so many state laws. Some states don't allow snares, some do. There's so many different laws, but F&T has went out of their way to study every state law. So if I order snares, which I make a lot of my own, if I order snares off F&T, they know they're specific for Ohio. So they can already come up totally legal. All I got to do is put my tag on and go. So whatever state you're specific in, and you're legal to run snares, and they have a regulation, like we can't over, what is it now? Can't go 2.5 inches. We have a stop there, and we can't go over, I forget now. I think it's 14 inches, something like that, circle. And they put a stop on it. Yeah, brushes use a flat wash. And that's why if you're new to the game, order them off FT, study how they made them, line them up, even if you have to take them apart, stretch them out, get your measurements that's way, and then you can build to save you some money that way. If you guys are interested, I was talking to my brother Dave. I think I'm going to put together a survival snare kit. And you guys will help me if this is right or not. Now, these snares will be totally illegal, even in Ohio, but they're not for everyday snaring. They're for your emergency pack. That means they go to the bottom of your pack, and I'll have a set of 3 or 6, and these will be able to take a deer all the way down. And remember, that will be an illegal snare. Is that something would you like to purchase like that? That'd be my setup, how I would do it, and from sustaining big game down to like a coon, a raccoon. If you guys are, let me know if you guys think that's a good idea. And, a pack of 3 and maybe a pack of 6, like I said, they would be highly illegal. You get caught with them, you're in trouble setting them, but they're made for, hey man, this is my serious kit, my get home bag. I'm going to Alaska on vacation. I'm going out west vacation, doing some hiking, and you would get lost. They would be get out of jail free card snap. Now, Harm says 6 of them. You like 6 of them. The more you set, the better you are. The federal government says that in a survival situation, that all game laws will be off. You have the right to sustain life by any means necessary. So that would wouldn't have been the time the snares would come out. If you guys like this idea, I'm going to try to put some together and see how they sell on the website. I think, like I said, there's no stops on them. There's no deer stops on them. Don't want them. If I got to catch a deer by the foot, then so be it. Sustains life. But remember, that's got to be stated, and that'll be on the package. I don't want to get nobody in trouble doing what I'm doing, but I believe it. I believe in my pack. I know what I carry in my pack, and I really don't care what the laws will say if I got lost, or if I got in a survival situation. If I had a broke leg, could I still set a snare on the trail? Absolutely could. Remember that snare will work 24/7 while you're back at camp with your belly rumbling. Your stuff's going to work 24/7. It could get rain, get snowed out, but we could get weather conditions that change that. But when I found out the snares are probably one of the best weather condition traps that I run. You get too much snow on a foothold set, it'll compress the snow and fire the trap before the foot gets in. If I'm in the water trapping for stuff, the water can rise up and flood out my traps. The snare, I've had snares that it's hanging there blowing in the wind, and then the snow come all the way up, and that makes it too low for the critter, and the critter walks over it. So they can be weathered in, but if you got a pretty good run and the animal's been running there and used to it, you usually catch them before the snow hits. When the snow starts getting hit, the animals really slow down. They know the storm's coming. Trust me on that. They know it's coming. They want to hunker down. They want a good place to bed in, weather the storm. We call it weathering the storm. We're going to bed down there, not move that much. But after that, you make the run, go check your snares, clean out the trails, make it look like someone's been running through that. Animals see tracks just like we do now. And who's been going through here? Why they want to go through here? Well, you just cleaned out that trench, the snare's still blowing, and bam, you got it. And the other thing I was going to tell you about painting your snares, I mixed it down really thin. You can use any color you want. I use a lot of tans. I use blacks, stuff like that. I got a question from Dean. SHTF snares. There you go. So it's also important that if you're taking down game that size, you need to be able to preserve the meat and protect it from predators. And you're dead on, Dean. That's another whole ball game that we really don't talk about in the trapping field. Is if I do take a big deer, I want to save everything on that deer I can do it. First thing I'll be doing is eating the entrails, the heart, the liver, the kidneys. That's what God intended us to eat first. Everything we talked about, tenderloins and roast and how good it is and stuff, that's a secondary meat, guys. That meat is designed to be dried, designed to be, you can can it, you can dry it, you can grind it in pemmican and stuff. The organ meat's what won't last. A lot of people don't understand how to eat the heart and eat the liver and eat the kidneys. And if you read about Lewis and Clark, about the Native Americans eating the intestines, cleaning them out, cutting them into like little noodles and cooking them. When we were kids, you could take the heart, liver, and kidneys and cut it up very fine and actually grind it. And then we'll boil them first, then cut it up in a fine, and you make a pate out of it. You can put onions in there and stuff like that. And then, eat it on the trail. And that's pure fuel for the body. You can spice the way you want it to and everything like that. But the innards are very, very good for you. All our ancestors ate them. We've lost favor. We've lost the taste for the liver and the kidneys and stuff like that. Remember, they used to stuff everything in the stomach of these animals and cook it that way. The Germans were famous for that. They put everything in a casing, and we call them casings today, which are nothing but hog intestines. I don't mean to be graphic on here, but that's just the way it is. And that's why we needed that. Like I said in the class, we'll be feeding the rescuers. You're right, Blue. If we take a big game, can I air dry? I've physically air dried meat. Now it's kind of dangerous. We know that, but my buddy, his mom used to show us how to do it, and we would take really super lean cuts of the meat. This is the key. Super lean, no fat, no marbleization. You drop it in boiling water. You're not cooking it. In and out. And then you roll it in black pepper, and we hung it over the clothesline. Now, on an 80-degree day, 90-degree day in the sun, the black pepper, I think the water sterilized it. The black pepper kept all the flies off of it. And within 2 days, that stuff was hard as a brick. It was totally dry. There was no smoking. There was no hanging over the fire. It was just standard air dry. Now, you can also do that in the sunshine when it's super cold out. Got no bugs to bother. You can blanch it, hang it over tree limbs, keep it away from birds and stuff, because they're going to try to get it. But you understand that the air will actually dry that, So there's another way to preserve stuff. And then you can do it. Of course, we can smoke it, and you dehydrate it by smoking it, which is great. Dan said, I enjoy my liver seared quick and practically raw, cold in the middle. Plenty of salt, natural multivitamins. Trapper Dan's been eating a lot of liver. And I think I'm kind of a weird believer on this, that if you have liver problems, you should eat a lot of liver. If you got heart problems, eat a lot of heart. Same with kidneys. You should eat a lot of kidneys. I don't think the DNA is the same makeup, but I believe our body in the DNA is closest to hogs. So if you had kidney problems, I think I'd eat a lot of hog kidneys, because there's so much that are so similar to the human body that our body could use that and say, let me pick this apart and maybe I can rebuild with this. Right? I'm not a scientist. I'm just a dumb old hillbilly, but that's kind of what I believe. When you read the stories like I did on these people eating all this food that come out of testing, it doesn't last. Then when you see a coyote or a wolf, take down a deer, what's the first thing they eat? What's a lion? What's the first thing they eat? They all eat the entrails first. It's amazing. The meat will dry and it won't spoil that bad. They'll have that. They'll come back the next day when they're hungry and refeed on that stuff. That's the secondary. Because we're American and we're hunters, we think the tenderloin, the inner tenderloin is my favorite. The outer tenderloin's the best lean, and I think that's what we think, and we throw the guts on the ground. That's kind of strange, but that's kind of what I'm looking at. I'd be a little in Florida, because of the heat. But our people did air dry meat. I told you, be cautious with this, because you can get into botulism and everything else. I'm not the expert in the field. I've done it. Hey, TW Bushcraft. Hey, man. Dan, I learn something new every day. Dude, we share learning on this channel. You know that. Freeze dried and put out in Mylar bags in the last 25 years. That's it, Blue. We're going to talk about freeze dry later. I've got a new guest that's going to be coming on hopefully next week. We're going to talk about freeze dry material. We're also going to talk about bees, guys. Is bees practical? Look at the honey. Look at the barber. Look at the money involved. But look at the healing process of honey. That's going to be a good show, guys. I'd encourage you to watch it. And I'm not the expert. I will have a guest on there. We won't mention their names right now. And he keeps bees. He keeps also freeze drying stuff. I'd like to know more about freeze drying because it's forever. It's basically drying stuff forever, like you just said. Element. Hey, man. So you with me on that? I mean, we got a couple good shows. I met a lot of good contacts at Central High Bushcraft and a lot of guests that's going to be on the show. I know you guys probably get tired of listening to me all the time, but I think that's a good show to have these guests on and bring the people that, I don't know nothing about freeze drying. I really don't know nothing about raising no bees. We're going to try that. I hope you guys enjoy that. I think they're going to be really good shows if we can get these up and running. I want to also pass, since I got a lot of guys on there, with your help, guys, I finally got monetized through YouTube. This show is going through YouTube. That's going to help my probably going to make a lot, but, every little penny helps on this. So I want to give you all thanks for tuning in and listening to some old dumb hillbilly talk every week, but that really helps my channel out. I want to thank every one of you guys that listen to this. Keep going. TW Bushcraft, Bisborne. I keep native bees and hives here in Bisborne. TW, man, we turn in because you guys can talk back and forth and we can bring this knowledge up on this stuff. Today it's an open forum today. We can talk just like we was talking trapping and stuff. Hey, Clyde. But I'm trying to line up the best guests we can because I'm far from knowing it all. I guarantee you I'm far from knowing it all. I know trapping and hunting, pillow this and pillow that, but, in an off-grid situation, or the bees, they would be very valuable, to me. The not just the food, but remember, honey don't really go bad. And you can preserve other stuff in honey, I think, certain things. In any situation, a beekeeper is welcome in any enclave anywhere in the world. I think you're right, Dean. And that's what we got to work on. I'm going to put that show together. I'll be getting with him next week. We'll probably talk about the freeze dry, kind of preserve some of this meat, preserve some of our garden stuff. I mean, I love the canning. We could do a whole show just on canning. I get enough money together, I'm going to buy the biggest canner I can get. I don't like doing 6 quarts at a time. It drives me nuts. I need a bigger canner. Everything a bee makes, we can use, and that's a fact. So we can do shows, because I want to get into the preserving part of it. I got a lot of questions on that. If I do snare deer, say I did, I twisted an ankle. I told everybody what it was. I'm pretty far out, 3 days off. Rescues get there. My philosophy is when rescues get there, I'm going to have a comfortable enough shelter for everybody to spend the night and have enough food to feed them. But like you said, you've got to understand preserving. I've got to get better at preserving meat. We all can share our knowledges on how to preserve all the food, and from freeze drying to canning to drying and stuff like that. This is what this channel's about, is to share the knowledge. This is free. Go across the board. TW, I got 20 hives, been keeping them for 8 years now. They're stingless bee. I never heard of that. I'm allergic to stings, and this is a safe option. My wife's allergic to bees, so I got to watch her. My mother's a master canner. See, then I wouldn't mind having your mom on this show if she's willing to do it and go over step by step on how to do this. William, I was camping last Thursday. Had a good time watching the animals, deers, and squirrels. Sweet, man. Anytime you get out in the woods, man, and do some hammock time, it's the best time. Or camping time. I was just in a hammock. I've been hammock camping. Uh, Guys, there's something about the detox, man. I get a ton of emails. My sales were good, but I really leave my phone alone with these events. I've been keeping it actually in my hammock. Maybe my wife's like, I figured you was talking because I didn't hear from you all day. And that's because I don't want to get interrupted. We got good conversation, but I want to detox from that. I've got plenty of computers around me and cameras and cell phones every day. I've been on the phone all day today. So there's times to detox. I mean, I really believe that the human body needs to decompress, or I call it detoxification. Get out in the woods, get away from all electronic stuff, and just even if you do it for a couple hours, how much better I feel. Let alone going to Central High where basically it's all family. It's like a family reunion that you just met. It's kind of weird, man, but it's just all a bunch of good people, and we have great conversation and laugh, and we tell all kinds of stories and eat good. But just to get out and do this, man, is just that's all the way I can explain it, man. I mean, I appreciate all my sales I had. I picked up some good contacts there. Like I said, I picked up some more guests there, which is going to be great. It's going to be a ball to have uh, more stuff. I'm trying to still get other people on some more wild edibles on here. CJ, I was trying to get a hold of CJ about mushrooms to get on here. He texted me right before I was leaving. He says, I've got overabundance of mushrooms, got piles of them. You want them? I said, dude, I don't have time. I was covered up, or I've been eating good. He's the mushroom guy for me. When we were at Central Ohio underneath them pine trees, I couldn't identify none of the mushrooms, and they were everywhere. They were huge. I need a guy like that around him. Don't eat no mushrooms. Like he tells me, every mushroom is edible once. So think about that one. Hey, Vern says, hey, Dad. Vern's older than me, and he calls me Dad. He's just jealous, man. It's all about this. Me and Vern, if you ever want to have a good conversation with a man that's highly knowledgeable, somebody sit down and talk to Vern one time. The man is he knows his uh, pop gun's pretty good, and he knows business pretty good. He's just all around good guy. I don't mean to embarrass him on this channel, but I love sitting down and talking to him. We have some good conversations. Hey, Bo. There's JB Caudell, man. Been processing black walnuts this week. Wanted to learn something new. There you go, man. Black walnuts. I used to process when I was a kid. They are very bitter and they're hard to crack open, but they're good. Uh, uh, the black walnuts they're dropping right here in the woods. I used to dye all my traps with black walnut. But remember, black walnut's an antiseptic. Uh, I take my snow blade. I get so many of them on my tractor and I push them up against the base of the tree. Now, why would I do that? If I was out in the woods in a survival situation this time of year, I'd be gathering all the black walnuts and piling them at the base of the tree. Anybody know why? I'll wait on that question. Uh, if you can get a mushroom guy gal to the Central High Bushcraft Gal, we'll give you them the class slot. Buddy, I'd love to have. I never even thought about having I was just busy this week. I told you I got sick the week before. Just really put me behind. I didn't bring half the stuff I wanted to bring. Uh, TW, that's cool, man. Just be safe on them storms, brother. Dean, he got it. Hose run a lot. You got it. Attract meat. So if the squirrel's got to bounce around on the ground all the time looking for individual nuts spread out, I just bring all the nuts to the tree and sit back. It's going for that pile, man. And several of them's going for that pile. They're a bad mistake when they do that. So if you're sitting back with your little 22 rifle, you can pile up the squirrels pretty good. So I wanted to see that's why I gather them all up and put them in a pile. And they'll hit them for months and months and months all winter. So anytime you need a quick meal, just you got your quick meal. That's what I've done since I was a kid. Plus, I hate mowing them and hitting them with the mower. So I put my snow blade on and push them on. I've got 5 or 6 black walnut trees here on the property, and they go everywhere. And it sucks mowing when you take one in the head too. So I mean, they're dropping like crazy. Uh, yeah, they love them. The black walnuts, the ones I eat around here, they're pretty bitter. You have to rinse them off pretty good. Uh, like I said, they're harder to crack than an English walnut, but you can sustain life with them if you eat enough of them. They're a good dye. You can tan hides just. You can take a green hide off a deer and put it in a bucket with enough black, walnut hulls in there. Leave it in there. It might take, depending on temperature, it might take 30 days, 40 days to tan that hide, but it'll physically tan the hide. It's called dark tan. Another thing, that you can sustain more clothing if you don't have the brains of the animal to do it. But you can actually dark tan leather. It's a long, lengthy process, but you can be done. Anything with high tannins like that in there will tan leather, and that's what you're seeing off the walnuts tanning. If you study the walnut tree, it's kind of crazy that when it drops the walnut, the hulls actually poison the ground to keep other trees from growing around the walnut. It kind of tries to protect itself from anything growing around it because the tannins so high, other trees can't grow up next to it. It's kind of interesting. Uh, so it's just something to think about. We'll get something to drink. Throat's getting dry. So, and this is the knowledge Central Ohio, I didn't get to see it all. I run in the booth and I walked around. And like I said, guys, if this is I love this channel. I like doing what I'm doing. But at any time, I mean, you couldn't believe how many instructors were really there. At any time, you could talk to anybody, and it's free knowledge. You only have to take a class. You could take classes there, which is I encourage you to do that, especially if you're lacking in the skill that you really need. But there's other times that you can pick up a lot of pointers on bow drill, hand drill, flint and steel. There was a guy there who's total buckskinner, nice guy. I can't remember his name. Had a nice booth. He actually built everything that Utsi the caveman had. He actually smelted his own copper and made the axe. It was so identical to Utsi's, I about freaked out. I asked him, I said, man, what kind of price is on it? He said, about $275 because he melted all the copper. He did everything identical. And you could see the performance of that axe. I wanted to go over and chop a tree so bad with it, but you could tell. This is the knowledge I like to find. He had Utsi's backpack made identical with Utsi had. He had Utsi's knife and sheath. He's a professional napper, dude, and knife flint. And he made Utsi's knife, and I couldn't believe. He says that's actual to scale, and it was so small. The sheath was so small. I didn't have my phone with me. I'll take pictures of it, but to see Utsi's knife and exact replica basically was just fascinating to me. I got him though. I said, "Yeah, you didn't know I was a professional napper too." He goes, "Really?" I said, "Yeah, noon every day, man. I can lay down and take a nap." He was wrong. He's like, "Man," he says, "You got me on that one." I said, "I thought I would." But he's a cool dude. And you see the skill, man, these guys have. The skill was ridiculous. And that guy, we talk flint and steel a lot. In fact, he donated me a nice piece of flint. I tried to pay for it. He wouldn't do it. He had a piece of real nice black English flint because my flint's getting low. And he donated a real nice piece. And I can't remember his stinking name. Douglas Meyer, is that him? But a cool dude, man. Cool dude. That's what I said, guys. That guy was willing to talk to me, man, and just sit down and talk about the Utsi stuff. And, you know, how much would you pay for that in the class? Go, man. I got to catch you up. Yeah, they're very tasty from this one tree in my yard, but the other 50 foot away is bitter. I don't understand that, JB, because I know I've noticed that before too. Some are a lot more bitter than the others. I don't know if it's the ground where they're at or what. Uh, just just carved a walnut handle. My cold steel shovel. Walnut's great. I love walnuts. Pretty wood when it's done, man. Douglas Myers. Uchi was a little fella. No, just needed tiny gear. He was. He was a small guy. But when you actually see one and actually have to hold it, I've seen plenty of pictures of the actual size was just about that. The whole knife, was maybe 4 inches long. Uh, yeah, a scrimshaw blade. Yeah, but I love that going home with that scrimshaw blade he had, but that one wasn't for sale. Yeah, I mean the guy had top line stuff, man. Uh, it was just an amazing show, and I get this on about everywhere I go. But for some reason, Central House, I don't know, it's because that's in Central House. I don't know, but I love being there. I love the family. Every year I meet even more people there. I'm blessed and fortunate that I get to put on class. They give me the Sunday or the Saturday afternoon, which is their prime spot. I was thankful for that. And, I seen people about the 2 hours going, no way. And 2 hours was like that. I mean, I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like you guys think I'm teaching you. You guys are teaching me the whole time. And that's just the way I feel about it. I get to rehash some of the stuff I did as a kid. It was very hard because I'm an advanced trapper. And what I did is to remember the foundation, remember how I did it. How did I begin? And the same questions I had. Well, them's all been the past 40 years ago. And so you guys really helped me thinking about, okay, this is how I messed up when I was a kid. How can I keep you from messing up, but yet don't talk advanced to you? Make sure I'm on the same beginner's level and we grow together. Because what I did back then, what I do today is two different things. I've gotten that good at it. And like I said, I tell everybody in these classes, I stand on a mountain of mistakes. And that ain't no lie, guys. I've said a lot and never come home with fur. Uh, I just done it. And if I can keep you from making the same mistakes, you'll grow faster up understanding. Even if you don't become a trapper, you understand on the classes that I teach where I'm coming from. And I tell everybody there what's the lightest thing we carry in our packs? It's our knowledge. And even though you'll never become a trapper, but if you got your snares in your pack and you do get in situations, what Dan say? Find that, do this, and bam. You know, and it might save your butt one day. And you don't have to be a trapper. I'm not disappointed in you if you don't become a trapper. That's not the point of this game. The point of the game is having the knowledge and able to survive on your own if you get in that situation. That's what I'm trying to teach on the trapping part. I had some classes that we get highly in depth in the trapping. That's going to come with PDF. We're working on that with my brother. Guys, right now, I spend a lot of money on my new website. It'll look like the old website, but it's a website store. And this is really going to be a game changer. There's going to be some good information and good products on it. I believe in building or have built a heavy duty product. And it's all about you guys, making sure you guys get the right gear for a great price. And it's bulletproof. Buy one, acquire one stuff. Uh, I've got a lot of things on the books right now on that. So one thing is the website to make it easier to shop, but there's going to be PDF files if you really want to get into trapping. Yes, I'll charge for that. That's going to be like an 8-hour class, like one-on-one with me starting. It's not the first class is not going to be about the traps and the sets. It's going to be understanding the animal and what I understand to get you to take you from here to here in 8 hours. That's 40 years plus, 45 years plus of knowledge in 8 hours. So that's going to be a good one. Me and my brother's been talking about that. I got to get filmed. I get set up with trapping. I believe like I'm going to meet up maybe with Trapper Dan, and I'm doing some filming, actually trapping beavers and stuff like that. That's going to be another learning class. So stay tuned. I got a lot on the books. God willing, everything pans out, man. You guys get to really see how I do and how my brain really works out in the field. Maybe you don't you know, oh man. Uh, Man, I feel like a second, more advanced class where you could take a fee could be in order in 2022. And we've talked about that, and I like the classes. It's very hard to find land enough to get 10 or 15 people trapping at one time. It's very hard to do that. I actually have to trap before you guys get all set up and be out trapping before you guys get there, because there's so many people in the field. It just changes all trapping. We can do that, but trying to work out the details. That's why I want to go with the PDF file, and that way you can one-on-one in your living room. And then maybe in the future we will have classes, where I can take like 10 students. I've done it twice. Once was at Dave Canterbury's place, and one was at Jason Hunt's place. It was very taxing because I don't know the land where I'm at, so it's pretty tough. But we can still do it. I don't have problems with it. I just a lot of people can't come to Ohio during January, December, January, because of the weather and cold and snow and snowstorms and stuff like that. So we're going to work this out. Doing a lot of talking with my brother. Everybody knows he helps me with the videos and stuff like that. So it's James Bender and stuff. Knowledge is a principal thing. Knowledge is vast. I think guys who read a lot, reading is very good. We remember what we want to remember and put it in a file in case we have to use it. There's nothing going to be better than experience at all. You can have the knowledge all you want, but if you don't use it, and don't have experience with it, it's like you can read a book and tell me all the knife moves out there, but as soon as you pick up the knife, you're eventually going to cut yourself. It's got to go hand in hand. I believe that's just me, but knowledge is fast and it doesn't weigh a thing. Listening to an old trapper, guys, I wasn't born. I didn't pop out with a daggone 330 comparer and let's get busy. This all had come from somebody else. And I give credit for them people, them old timers. I told you before, I had a weird way of hanging around these old guys and listening to their stories. And, about trapping and getting through depression. And, a lot of kids are like, let's go play, man. I said, no, I'm listening to a story. That's where I gained my knowledge. But I took what I learned and went after it. That's when I progressed into trapping. I'm back here and tied down. I'll try to remember to send you some pics of my beehives, Dan. I sometimes put slow motion videos up on them. That'd be cool, man. Bees are smaller than a housefly. That's amazing. I didn't even know they made a stingless bee, but that'd be appreciated, TW. Is get us some photos on the channel, man. That'd be cool. Need the skill set and how to use it. There you go, Tennessee Smoky. Knowledge, experience is. I can't say it. You guys got it. Those are big words you're using on me again, man. You got to quit. But yeah, it's right. It's got to go back hand in hand. In my class, if you sat in that class, you'll hear me tell you, I can teach you everything but practice. I cannot teach you practice. And that's why I think I set up the snares this time. People are intimidated. They're afraid they're going to break them or whatever. And I want them to get their hands-on training, understand how easy this is to set and easy to get. That's my first hands-on. I thought, well, second, because I did some at Midwest Ohio. But I'm telling you, it's to get to. I wanted you guys to experience how easy what I'm talking about. When we talk about it, we don't get a hands-on. So, my brother was an instructor there. Trinity was helping set snares. I was walking around talking set snares. And people were like, wow, it's that easy. And I said, yeah, this is how I make them more sensitive. This is how I make them tight at high winds. I can move them around and move, they were fun to mess with. Good. Blue said that. I mean, he was, to get out there and get you some time on the snare and understanding the setup. It's experiences, everything. Hands-on is everything. And I'll be honest with you, I had a ball because when I was sitting there thinking about setting up all these snares, I set up 12 snares in a circle. Uh, I thought back when when I was healthy that I could jump out of the truck and I could take me 4 or 5 snares in my pocket. And I remember timing myself was usually around a minute, that I could set everything up in a minute and gone. And remember, I was a numbers game, so it's all about time and energy and thing for me. So I was running and gunning, what I called it, and then to see somebody who's novice and say, "Why can't I do that? Why can't?" And I take for granted because we don't. When you do something so much, you don't think about it. I play guitar and I totally suck at it. Then you see somebody play guitar and they're sitting there talking to you while they're playing. That's kind of like me in trapping. I don't think about the set. I just think what I got to do. But when I'm teaching a class, I had to rethink all that. Say, wow, man, I didn't even know I did that. But you had no thought about it. Me and James Bender got a good conversation about lighting a stove in the pioneer days. The women would light a stove. The thing about it is they never wrote that down because to them it was all common sense. Everybody did it this way. But without that written word, we don't really know how they started the fires. I explained this before that I have a thing on my wall. It's where they put kerosene in the corn cobs after they shelled the corn. They would leave them in with a little bit of kerosene, and the corn cob would soak up the kerosene up. Nowhere in the book was written about that because everybody did it that way. And that's why I'm trying to go back and rehash on my stuff and saying, wait a minute, I got to slow down. And why do I set this snare that way? Why do I adjust that wire that way? That's what I'm trying to. It seems so simple to me, but you guys is one that helps me back down, slow down, explain it, and make it better. Because that's when I found out that, if you guys don't get it, it's a waste of time. So slow down, get it, and show you why I tweak and bend and pill around like that. Now that's where it was tough for me to teach. I guess what I'm trying to say, but it's fun because I'm rehashing all the mistakes I made. you know, so it was. It's good. It's good to see the newbies try this stuff and go, "Wow, man, I made them same mistakes." I don't understand, and I I surrounded myself with great people, man. I still do to this day. If you guys didn't know, Blackie Thomas was up there. And man, when he gets started to talk about his stories, people listen. He'll draw a crowd around him. Jamie Burley was the same way, the fire pit stories. But to have that kind of knowledge, Blackie Thomas he's just a woodsman. He's a simple guy that growed up dirt poor, that had to make do all his life. And, he's a little bitty guy. He got picked on a lot, but his knowledge of living out in the woods is vast. And when we're talking hammocks and knots and stuff, and his way of living, man, was it. It's amazing. Now I've been around him a long time. I'm starting to hear the stories over and over again, which is cool. But for new people, if you listen to that old timer talk, you know what I'm saying? Uh, it's he just his cup runneth over from knowledge. That's all it is. Uh, because most of us do not have to uh, spend the night in the woods or waiting on your other parent to come home. Uh, Sorry about that. Waiting on your parent to come home because the other parent's having trouble with it, and you didn't want to go in the house. So you entertained yourself with no TV out in the woods for hours, maybe days, to stay away from that. And that's the kind of stories you hear about. That's how that's how I learned is to observe the animals so much. That's why I think it makes me a good hunter and fisherman and trapper because I sat on the creek bank too long observing all this stuff. And I can't, you know, I know I try not to harp about it, but if you could pin Blackie Thomas down for an hour and just listen to the stories, or best yet, say, Blackie, I can't figure this out. That guy will jump out of his chair and run over 2 people to help you. Because he's going to show you the right way. This is how I did it. This will be the easiest way. He found the easiest way. Every time I talk to Blackie, I learn something. And we have a lot of fun. I pick on him pretty hard, especially when he's trying to get my truck. Looks like a little kid trying to get my truck. He's going to kill me when he sees me. But it's Blue said, yeah, he's down to earth. He's a common dude. So am I. I met a couple fans there. I don't hate even using that word. Blackie had a fan, and I told him, let's go talk to him, man. I know Blackie. Blackie's willing to talk to you, man. Ain't none of us going back down. We're just a bunch of old silly woodsmen, man. Ain't too dumb to get out of it. I think it's funny. But I had a ball. And that's why I want to talk to you now about this show. I know I just want everybody to encourage, it's not just this show, it's any show you can get to. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to go. I remember Eli, he was cooking. I met him at Trailheads, hanging around all the Hammock guys. I mean, these guys are, Dutch wares there, some big namers there, but they're not bushcrafters. And I learned a lot about hammocks there. So, and I missed it this year because I was covered up. And it's really close to my house. It's 35 minutes from me. And I didn't see it advertised. They didn't do a lot of advertising with it. And then Eli told me, man, where was you at? I said, well, I was busy and I didn't even hear about it, forgot about it. And I said, and then he was there. And I talked to Eli coming in the bushcraft world. He goes, man, I love it. Thanks for, inviting me over here. It's different. It's more, his style of stuff like that. So I invite everybody. He was into the hammock world. He does a lot of camping, but he wasn't in the bushcraft world. So he had a good time. This is his second year going. That was me. Huh. Yeah, I know it was. Blue said that. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was, when you bring these people, I can't encourage you enough to go. I know you got to get listening to me, talking about this stuff, but it was just the knowledge walking around, the axes and axe sharpening and all kinds of knives there, of course. It's amazing. I'm still amazed that I look around and I ask people, what knife you carrying? What knife you carrying? Why are you carrying it? And them's knives just as bad as the shoes. You don't never see two pair of shoes the same at this event. You're not going to see two of the knives being carried the same. It kind of blows my mind on how many different knives. Dean, I'll tell you what, he ain't lying, boy. He made some jalapeno cornbread. It was killer. And there's other boys. I got some smoked rabbit, man. It was killer, dude. I had some deer chili, it was killer. I told you I ate way too much, man. There was some food going around there. But yeah, you're right, Dean. Eli knows how to cook, man. That old boy could cook. He had the whole setup, the old Dutch ovens, all the cast iron. It was a donation. I mean, he worked his butt off. I seen him wringing wet cooking. In fact, he didn't. The last night was there. He says, "Dan, I ain't cooking no dinner. Can I come over and eat with you?" And I said, "Well, let me talk to Pam and Vern." I said, "That's their food. It ain't mine." And of course, come on in, man. So we got to feed him, or Pam and Vern fed him. But it's good to have company sitting around. He didn't want to cook at night, and I don't blame him. We'll pull him out. But that's what I mean. Plenty of offer, man. I bought plenty of food and didn't eat nothing when I brought. My brother did, and my brother was up cooking his own. What'd you have, Stephen? Biscuits and gravy or something in the morning, and it was. But my brother don't get out much, so he got to fire up his own stove, make his own breakfast. First time in a hammock, he slept good. He's not a hammock camper; he's an old tent camper, and so it was just fun. And Blackie had extra hammocks, and I had extra hammocks. If you needed a hammock, we'll put you in a hammock. We didn't care. I think it's the hammock camping is for me on my back and my shoulders, and I just sleep so much better in it. So it's a good time. Okay, guys, it's we've hammered that out for about an hour. I wanted to continue. Me and Trapper Dan was talking about truck camping. He liked the series on the truck camp, and I wanted to explain. We were talking about air mattress and everything in my truck because I was trapping all the time. It's not in there right now because I'm using it for one of these shows and stuff. is what I did is I built out of wood, out of 2x10s and 1/2 inch plywood. And then I built the boxes out of 2x10s. Had two drawers. My truck bed's 6.5 foot long. So I had two drawers underneath and a wood box, and that was level with the wheel wells in my truck. And Dan was talking about it, and I was like, hey man, if you try to lay on steel, it just zaps you. When I built that toolbox on the design that I'll be laying on that wood really insulates you good over laying on the steel floor there. And I know we talked about this about 2 weeks ago, of the truck camp. I kind of wanted to bring it up and rehash that a little bit. Is once you put that, and you don't have to build the drawers in there, but if you put a 2x10 up and a 2x10 up and 3/4 inch plywood and just set it in there, you might have to put a cross brace in it, but all the storage is underneath you, but you're off the bed, and then you can put your wool blankets down or foam mat or air mattress or something like that. But, he said he was pretty interested in this truck series, and Blackie's going to get the videos out on there. But when we do that, I know it's easy to go buy a camper and, do that. But because I drive my truck all the time, if I got out in a major snowstorm, yeah, it'd be nice to sit in the cab and use the heater, but there's times you want to stretch out and a little buddy heater in there and plenty of wool blankets, you'll save your fuel in your truck. And then you get to stretch out and really get warm. I'm 6'8". It's hard to get comfortable in a truck. I can't lay down and stretch out. So I just want to tell you, that little box trick on building up your floor. You can make it any height you want. I like the level with the wheel wells in the truck. Give me 4 pockets, so I can carry more stuff. I can carry my 2-burner Coleman stove under there. Excuse me, I can carry tarps under there and poles under there, so I can extend my cab on that. I can't wait till me and Blackie was talking a lot about these videos, and I want to see his truck series because Blackie's got that old truck, that Nissan with 500,000 miles on it, whatever it is, and aluminum cam top. And that's going to be a good series for us to see affordable build. We're trying to do this on a budget, guys, and it's nice. And I know like my cam top matches my truck, and we're not talking about spending a whole lot of money to get out there. But there's a lot of people out there who would like to go to this event, but man, I don't have the hammocks, and I don't have the real good setup, and I don't have all my Dutch cook. We don't care. Live in the back of your truck. Live in the front of your truck. But if you can put a cheap cam top on that thing, you know what I'm saying? And you can go to these events. We don't care you sleeping in the back of your truck. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to say nothing about that. But I believe some of these people don't go to events because, man, I don't have camping gear. I can't cook, myself and stuff like that. And I thought, man, we need to sleep in the back of your truck. Even if you temporarily put plywood on the top of your truck and screwed it to the bed, to hold it down and crawl in there. That's all you need. There's Buckeye. Hey, man, he said, late supper. Sorry I'm late. Well, we're going to have a talk with your wife, man. She knows my show coming on. She's probably rolling her eyes already, bro. But it was, you know what I'm saying? I want to encourage, I see a lot of people at these shows that may be a little intimidated because we're all experts at what we do. Okay. And I think they get a little intimidated because they don't have the great gear to go with. But I believe if we can pass the word and say, look, you don't need a lot of gear to get in this sport, man. I think a lot of us I've seen a lot of people walk around and they're standoffish. When I was at Midwest, 2 guys were standing off and kind of didn't want to talk to me. They were, because I'm on YouTube. Big deal. Who cares? I'm going to talk to everybody. And I don't care you're running a mower or not, or, that's what you can afford. That's cool. I think we've got to watch that on I call them newbies, new people coming into this. I believe we can, hey man, welcome them in. Let's get it on. I don't care what knife you're running. I don't care what clothes you're running. If you don't have the bushcraft pants, you can be in a crowd, But I think that what holds the sport back a little bit is because of that. People, I ain't got the money to get into it. Well, bushcraft was not about the money. It's about what you can do in your brain. How can you build a shelter? You know, Trap Dan, he'll talk to everybody and talk and talk and talk. Why do you think I do 2 hour shows, man? Because I can't. I'll bore you with three. Uh, my outfitter made me tear down camp Sunday. Don't think I recommend. I made my brother put all my stuff away. I don't care. What are little brothers for? Uh, yeah, he made I put everything away. Uh, but I just don't want you to be intimidated if you're watching this show. So, man, I love to do it, but I can't do it. Man, we don't care. And if you really want to get into this and you didn't have a hammock to camp in, man, you get a hold of me. I'll find you a hammock. I'll get your setup for you. And, I'll loan everything you need. I'll take care of you while you're there. And most of the time, I need people taking care of me there. So I'll make a promise to any one of you. If you're young and you ain't got the money coming, get a hold of me. Because I'm surrounded with a lot of people, man. And we'll get you out in this woods. We'll get you out camping. None of us started this way. Uh, it's Lutz's Leathercraft. I'm with you. I could have stayed another night. Oh man, 4 days was gone. It was good. We get up in the morning. I got up at 5 o'clock in the morning. Went and took a shower, and I turned around and it was dark. My class was on. I just couldn't believe it. It's just crazy. Henry's waving at me. Hey, Henry. He's going to be the next heathen trapper. I want to teach that boy all the bad ways. He's going to be a good trapper. But it was, I don't mean to harp on that either. But man, if you ain't got it and you're intimidated, you get a hold of me. You PM me, you get a hold of me somehow. We're going to get you in the woods. I don't care if you're busted up and you're not walking right. I don't care if you're way overweight and have trouble. We're going to get you in the woods, man. Ain't no sense in you guys sitting at home. Wondering what we're doing. I want to see everybody. I encourage everybody. 8 to 80, we should do this. So I'm done harping on that. But that's what the truck series was about, is, not going out and spending a whole bunch of money on campers and motorhomes and stuff like that, which we all can do, but not all. Some of us could do. It was trying to get, that's what me and Black are talking about, trying to get the average person into bushcraft without being embarrassed about getting into bushcraft. Running an old truck. Hey, man, I'm here. Ain't about that, guys. In fact, I like to see I like to see what you come up with in the back of your truck. How did you put a light in there? How did you set up? How did you run your stove? That's what this is about, man. And I think it goes back to, I used to take my Chevelles to car shows, and I got so sick and tired of seeing all the same cars, just different colors. What I like to see when the rat rods come out, the rat rods are where everything goes, and I like to see the ingenuity. And I think that's why I hated the car shows, because they were all 32 Fords, just different colors of Chevy small blocks and air conditioning, 32. And, with front monitor suspension. Now, when the rat rods come back out, it's suicide steering, bolted together stuff. And I think the pickup truck, the car camper, is what I like to see. I want to see how you're running an extra battery for lights or whatever, sort of stuff. I think that's the time when we start really learning and picking up. And the newbie can come in there and say, well, I was just trying to hook this up and doing that. And you're like, I never thought of that. That's the stuff I love. Heck, the same with best times was when I didn't have most of the newest gear out there today. On that tarp, blanket, pots, and knife, and some cordies. Less is more in most cases. You're right, Buck. I mean, if we're not carrying the right Pathfinder pots, it's not cool. And bull, you can go to the Salvation Army and get a daggone stainless steel pot, dude. It's not about the pot. It's about you being there. I love that stuff. Living proof I can do it. Anyone can. Just remember, pack light, laugh out loud. Yeah, good luck with that, Pam. When you left, I seen that Dodge truck, man. That diesel was whining all the stuff you packed in that truck. Vern's laughing about it because he had to pack it all up. I said, he needs a camper. And he went, he needs a camp shell. He said, she'll pack more in it. When you travel with family, you need a 3/4 ton truck. You're in trouble. Sorry, Pam. I had to tell her. Uh, uh, there's outdoors, man. Sean, you're all, that's cool. Uh, Hammerhound, hey, brother. Uh, but it's true, man. I mean, and then just think, Trinity's mom, her hammock got wet. I don't know why it got wet or what over there. Uh, but she slept in the truck and she was comfortable in the truck. But, her truck didn't have a cam top on it. But hey, man, I'm not too proud to call back my truck, get into bad storms and stuff, get out of hand. You know, I don't have a back window on my truck. I need to fix it. I wore it out. But yeah, uh, outdoor selling, man, yeah, they still had the smoker there, dude. There's Kyle, man. Hey, Kyle. Had fun with Kyle, man. Had a good time with her, Kyle. Love to see you, brother. Had a good time. He's another knife designer. He's not right in the head. Me and him was going over his drawings and some of the knives he built. Not right. And I love you for it, Kyle. I love the outside of the box, brother. I know more outdoors. We had a pretty good discussion on knives. He's got some decent ideas on some blades, guys. Uh, like I said, I love the discussion. I love to see the innovation. Uh, you know, brought to Ohio, nothing better than a smoker. Yeah, when you're carrying your own smoker in your truck, it's a good time, man. Any of us right, or any of us right in the head? I have to contemplate on that. I believe everybody on this channel is not right in the head, to be honest with you. My brother slept many hours in front seat of a pickup. You ain't kidding. I worked for the state too. I slept in there in a plow truck many times. But were you hungry? No. No, I probably gained 10 pounds because of smoked. What we had smoked, I can't remember, we had smoked ham one night, and you could tell me the beef the next night, I can't hardly remember. I know I just kept getting plates of food and I kept feeding my face. And I really didn't care what it was because it was goo. Uh, yeah, but Pam and Vern put on a heck of a spread, man. And just a tad abnormal. Yeah. But like I said, it was just a good time. I've known Pam and Vern for years, but this is like seeing family again. It's like a family reunion. They get to see, where I'm from up here, and I go down to the Blackies, and they're from Florida and stuff, and we get to see and talk about different weather conditions and different, plant lives and how they live, and it's all different. To me, it's interesting as all get out. When we meet people, from Indiana and Michigan and Minnesota from Jonathan Frisbee. Uh, I gotta say it that way, guys. I don't know why I do that, but we talk about extreme temperatures and how they get by. This is what that gathering's about: is getting one on one with each other. Sometimes, picking each other's brains on this stuff. I absolutely love it. Watching these guys run smokers and run, uh, the cast iron pots and frying stuff different ways, different techniques. I'm not much of a cook. I really, uh, I can cook. I just don't care to. I want it fast, eat, and go. I've been that way since I was a kid. My wife still gets on me because I eat too fast. I want to wolf it down and go do something else. Uh, but these guys up here are very good at what they do, and there's plenty to go around. Uh, yeah, Buck, I remember we always eat good when we're all together. Uh, that was the other thing. Some people don't have the extra money. You come find me, I'll feed you. And there's a lot of people there, same philosophy. You hungry? You got to eat. We got plenty. Uh, that's what's good about this show. I told you I come out of drag racing and I come out of fishing, and it was all competition. It was all secret stuff in camps. You didn't talk to other people because you hated them because they were running close to you. And I'm not trying to dog the bass fishing world. I loved it. and I had really good friends in there, and they would help you out. But man, most of it's all about competitive, and it got ugly today, competitive, and there was some dirty stuff being done. You don't see that at these events. You see this if you're struggling on something, somebody's going to stick their hand out, man, and say, "Listen, we're going to get you through this." If you're struggling on setting up your tent, there's somebody going to be there, that understands knots and seeing what you're trying to do. Uh, they can get you by. We all have extra gear with us. We got all extra blankets and stuff with it. I just can't explain that. If I could bottle that, I'd be a private millionaire. Just being around that. Uh, yeah, glad Eli cooks for us. Oh, monkey bread, ham. Let's try to catch up. I guess I was wrong parts of the woods. You need to come by. Monkey bread, ham, eye round, and apple pie. I did burn my tongue on apple pie. I loved it. It was good though. You're right, Kyle. He ate Eli cooked it great. I called him the Book of Eli. That's how I remember his name. The Book of Eli, what I call him every time I say him. Still waiting on Blackie to tell some stories on the farm. Makes me feel a kid again. He's got his stories, brother. He's got his stories. Oh yeah, man. And our smoked bacon, wrapped pepper. Say it again. Smoked bacon, wrapped pepper poppers. Killer. You could not. Do not set them down there, man, because I'll pig on them. I'll bite your fingers. You get close. They were that good. Man, just killer food, man. Pam, be my friend. Camaraderie. You're right, Hammer. It is. I call it fellowship, whatever you want to call it. I believe the American people need to get back to this. It's funny how you see everybody helping everybody. If somebody tears their hammock or something goes south on their tent, there's plenty of everything fixing. We know how to fix it. It's just coming back together like it used to be. I really believe that. I spend 4 days there. I come home. I'm wiped out from talking straight for 4 days. I usually lose my voice. Blackie does too, because we don't want nobody to miss any questions whatsoever. And I'm totally wiped out for a couple of days after I get back. I still haven't unloaded my truck. That's just because, just not up to par, I'm tired. But I think that's why I get on there and tell you guys, you got to go, man. You got to find the money and go. Because you're going to meet people that you going to make friends for life. I'm telling you right now, out of that event, I've got friends for life in that event. And I can say it. Even if you don't want to be friends with me, I'll stalk you. But it's, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm making friends for life on here, man. I really, truly believe that. Blue outside, we probably met so many people. I'm still sorting them out. Yeah, man, I bounce from people to people. Kelly. Hey, Kelly. First gathering I went to with Blackies, y'all treated me like we've been friends for years. I bought plenty of food myself, but Randy insisted I eat out of them. Always good times with y'all. Thanks, Kelly. And that right there is a testimonial about how he feels. He's a new guy. Come in. We got no newbies, man. You're welcome. You're part of the family as soon as you get there. And, and right there, he just testified, that's what happens. I seen Michael Elia first time we went to Blackie's. He was camped away from us. And I remember what he told me. And he said, I wasn't sure you guys are on YouTube. I didn't know you all knew each other. I said, we really don't know each other. We're all on YouTube together. And we talked back and forth on the phone. But I think that was the first year I met William Collins in person. And I remember Michael coming up to me and said, Dan, he said, I didn't know how he's going to be. I didn't want to camp there. He says, but once I got to talking to you, you're just like you are on YouTube. And I said, that was a great compliment to me, because I'm not trying to put nothing on. I'm not trying to blow smoke up somebody's skirt. I'm just being me and saying my opinion and trying to learn off this stuff. But that's how, some of these events, we see people standing off. It's like, come on in, man. Come on, let's go. We got friends. We ain't got time to hang on around this stuff. We got to be friends and we got stuff to do. A lot of good times ahead of us. So, Thank you, Kelly, for that, because it really does show that the outsiders, there is no outsiders when it comes to bushcraft. And I think that's uh, when we're talking about these truck builds and camper builds. I think people are standoffish. Well, I want to show you what I got. I didn't have a whole lot of money. I bought this used cam top. That's the point of it, man. You know, that's the point of it, to see how you can get by with less. I mean, I think that's the ingenuity. That's what bushcraft is about. It's taking something from nothing. What about the debris shelter? They were building debris shelters there. I didn't get to participate in there. I know Mike Denny was doing his super shelter down there again. Wonderful presentation. I've seen it several times. But, you know, debris shelter is very hard to make. And it's a lot of energy. It's a lot of work to get it waterproof. When a cheap Walmart tarp, and you can still put the sticks up and cover it, and man, you'd be so much more comfortable. And a thin, little bitty cheap Walmart tarp didn't cost much at all, but it could save your butt on a cold, rainy day, and it will fit in your pack like nothing. That's the ingenuity I'm talking about. We all know debris shelters. I've made them, and they take a ton of time. You know, you've got to have 3 or 4 feet thick of leaves to make it rainproof, especially in a downpour. It's usually super tight, hard to get in, knocks easy. You have to maintain it all the time. And one $15 tarp at Walmart could save your butt. You know, the blue tarp theory. I camped with blue tarps most of my life, and I just love it. Oh, Dale said, I haven't told Pete what you said about my knife. Dale's on there. That's actually the first Pete Winkler of cross knives that I've seen somebody else carrying. He was carrying the large bushcraft. And if you guys didn't know it, that was my first design on a knife, was with Pete Winkler. It's called the bushcraft. I have the first one ever made. I was pretty proud to see that second knife there. He made it a little bigger, you know, for the second bushcrafter, but that's the first one I've ever seen in the bushcraft community, and he was using it. It's a very expensive knife. It's a great knife. I've got a video. One of my first videos was on that knife. Love Pete. Pete's another great guy, kick butt knife maker. There you go, Hammerhand, right there. Excellent tip. Hammerhand says, Harbor Freight gives tarps away if you watch for the right coupon. Right there. He just showed you how to get a free tarp. You know, if you watch their sales, get to Harbor Freight, when they always get them sales on the coupons and stuff. And there you go. You know, so you're saving money there. Can you put that on the back of your truck on the cam top, or extend the cam top with it? Well, yeah, you could. And yeah, it's probably the cheapest tarp probably made on the planet. I don't know how good their Harbor Freight quality is on their tarps. I don't know. But if you got, let's say if you got 3 or 4 times camping with it, it didn't cost you nothing, no how. And if it did cost you $15, that's what you're out. I think we get wrapped up in the bushcraft world that I've got to have this specific pair of pants and this specific shirt and this specific bag and this specific knife. And if you don't have that, you know, you're not up in the league with us. Well, at any given time, if you guys know me, you don't know what knife I'll be carrying next. I do a ton of knife testing. I do a ton of knife reviews. And so I got to keep buying knives and keep trying knives. I've never found, I'm always intrigued with a knife. I've never found a knife that I totally hated. Yeah, I found a few of them. They were, excuse me, it was junk, shred lock blade. And I watched a reviewer tell me what it was. It was a $20 knife. I knew what was going into it. When I got that thing, the blade would flop side to side. What a piece of junk. I wrote charade on that. You should be ashamed of yourself selling a piece of junk like that. I don't want to get on that. But, you know, I still listen to another reviewer say, that's a good knife. It's because these reviewers want from charade. They want another free knife from charade. And I don't believe in that. Every knife I do, I'm dead honest about it. I say what I'm wrong with it, what's wrong with it, what I don't like about it. And I also say I don't totally dog them off because they're specific tools. What about using a shower curtain? They had holes already in them on one side and blind. It would work. Why not? I mean, and they're pretty relatively cheap, man. So there's another point. Yeah, what happens if you found a shower curtain? Cheap at Lowe's or whatever. We know it's waterproof. Uh, you could use anything. It's the bushcraft world is using this. Sean Kelly did a video on that last week. Looked like it kept him good and warm. And I didn't. That's a weird. I know Sean Kelly. He's a good dude. I'm with him. But for some reason, my channel does not pick up his algorithms. I've talked to him about that. He has trouble with his algorithms for some reason. I don't always see his videos, so I'll have to go back and look at that. I haven't had time to watch many videos this last couple of weeks. Tried Goodwill for cheap stainless steel pots, usually $2 to $5. Works as good as those $30 top people push. Hammerhound, you're dead right. I cannot go into Goodwill and not go through their pot section. In fact, I need to stop because I buy these pots and they end up in the barn. But it's good. It's good to have extra pots. Some of that quality stainless steel at Goodwill, they'll outdo some of these bushcraft pots, man. They got copper bottoms to them. They're twice as thick, better handles. I understand about the weight and everything, but James Bender's doing a great series on his tin can series, his hobo series. They were using metal cans. You wouldn't care about, the pot is so valuable. You wouldn't care about the extra weight if it had a copper bottom or, stainless steel copper bottom, or even carry cast. They carried the cast. Yes, it was heavy, but they knew the quality of it. I can remember, reading books about, Lewis Clark and other adventurers out there, that how valuable the pot was to them. I mean, guys, you ever tried to boil water with rock? It sucks. It's a long time to boil some fish in there, and you're going to get ashes in there. It's going to take rock after rock. Burning bowls out, with stone and fire. It's neat and it's fun, but it would suck in a survival situation. That's how come that pot is as 5 C's. A container is that important to us. And if you can't afford it, man, I've seen titanium pots and cups, 35, 40, 50 bucks for a cup. Mike Denny has a very nice cook set now. He saved his money and put it back. It's great. The titanium don't weigh enough. But it was, some people that's not approachable. For me, I don't want to spend $50 on a titanium cup. I was running my non-tanium cup there. If you guys are there, you see me drinking coffee out of my non-tanium. I got some good comments on that cup too. It's a bean can, guys. It's just a metal bean can, and it's wrapped in the bubble foil wrap with a silicone bracelet on for the keeps from burning my lip. And Eli looked at that and he said, "What is that?" I said, "Non-tanium." He said, "What is non-tanium?" I said, "Non-titanium cup." And I get a lot of flack. I took out the trailheads just on them white weenies just to mess with them. And it works good. I've had it for about a year now. It gets a little rusty and crusty in there, but we'll clean it out. But that's an old green bean can, guys. I like the ingenuity of that. I really like that. James Bender. I've actually got the cup we built. He put a folding lid on it where I can hang it over the can. The can is just a regular soup can. And the way he built the hanger, and it's on his video, is it folds down, but it molds around the can for it slides in the pack. So it's it's very interesting to see what you can come up with, and that's this hobo series. The hobos, we all think of hobos as like bums that didn't work. They actually, if you read about the hobo, he was actually traveling for work. We were in the Depression, and after the Depression, work was kind, so they jumped on the trails and run the rail. A lot of them guys were migrant workers, where they would work down south, then work up north, and then to go back down south. And to get to transportation, they rode the trains. And if you look at the hobo series, these guys were the ingenuity of these guys bringing up their cook sets and how they made their fire lays and the shelters they run. James Bender's doing a great job. I had a good conversation with him last week on the same topic. How do you say it? Untitanium. I call it non-titanium. But the ingenuity is what I'm looking for. These guys got wet and they knew how to do their shelter. They knew how to do their stuff. Uh, they lived on the rail. It'd be nice to be in that railroad train in a thunderstorm, but they'd also take a mean beating. It was against the law to ride these trains, so they didn't get caught. So if you had to jump off, you had to jump off what you had on and try to get by overnight. It could be a thunderstorm. That guard tried to catch you. I knew they beat you about half to death. They catch you running them trains. They put the thumping on. And so we've been looking up more research about the hobo. Why the hobo? Because of the ingenuity. Because if you ever want to see something, me working for the state of Ohio, when I work in Montgomery County, that's the city of Dayton, is we had to go underneath the bridges and tear out the people's houses. They can't be underneath the bridges. It's against the law to be under there. But I'm telling you, 10, 15 below zero, these guys are living in cardboard boxes and they're warm. You guys want to learn something about surviving out at night and being able to dig out all your stuff? Go underneath the bridge somewhere. Go to a homeless camp somewhere and watch all these guys live. And everybody's, they're going to freeze to death. These guys know how to take care of themselves. Probably better than we do. I hate to say it. They know how to make fires where they can't see, other people can't see their fires because they're underneath bridges or in bushes next to the highway and stuff like that. So there's another piece of advice that, can we learn from other people who do it every day? 4 seasons. I mean, we all get to go home. We all get to go in a nice truck, an air-conditioned truck on the way home. These guys live in it. We have homeless right here in Xenia. When I was a kid, you never seen that. But I've asked one of them, I talked to him, what school with him? And I said, man, what do you do in the wintertime? He goes, well, I stay in the laundry room. The machines are running all the time, it's warm in there. It's open 24 hours a day. So they'll go in there and sit all night to stay warm. We can learn from this, guys. We can learn from, these people, these homeless people. You don't have to talk to them, get close to them, but you just go over and study that. Drive down to one of your, bad ends of town and just drive by and look at their huts and that. We do it for fun. We do it because we like to do it. What did I say while we was there? We spend a ton of money to look and dress like homeless people for 4 days. We had so many hammocks up there, it looked like Tent City, man. Plenty of trees to hang in. We were pretty tight on top of each other. But I can imagine them people who own that facility show up and see all these hammocks hanging in trees and come back, Monday morning, it's all cleaned up. In fact, the people take on there, was Jason and Caleb? Can't remember. They were bragging about, they couldn't believe after we leave the event that the people come up and supposed to clean up after us and stuff. There was no cleanup. I mean, we're all really good about picking our trash up, leaving no trace behind. They said we couldn't believe that we had 175 people there. And he says, we couldn't tell it. That's amazing. That's thanks to you guys, picking up the little pieces of trash, spreading out our fires, making sure the fires are all out. And, and just being that way. That's how we keep getting invited back. He made some comments that they love us there. They've never seen nothing like an event like that on their property. So it's good. It's good to see that. It makes me proud of all the people I hang around with, picking up their trash. They all know I can't bet on the pickup. I can't stand a little piece of trash on the ground. Drives me nuts. And so, and I have trouble picking up. But if I got my picker up thing, I'm all over the place. That's because of you guys. Picking up our trash and understanding what we're doing. I know I got on a tangent on that. Any more questions on the event or car camping on our map? You guys got any more ideas? How would you set up your truck? I like the wooden thing with the toolboxes underneath it so I can, store my camp stove and poles and more tarps and stuff. I did see a picture on this Facebook or TikTok or something These two guys took two pickups and they opened their can tops up, the lids, and they backed into each other with about maybe 10 foot apart. And they put one tarp, this huge tarp from truck to truck. And I'm telling you right now, you talk about, Hotel Hilton. This tarp went on both sides. They had, access to the side of the truck, but they covered both can tops up with this tarp. There's no way of getting wet. But you had two pickups there. I mean, you could have had a family of four living, 6 people living in that thing. That's the ingenuity I'm talking about, taking two trucks and making one heck of a hotel out of it. They had one side opened up, the big awning, whole campground. That blew my mind. What a heck of an idea, you know. Look at all the living space you had. One thing I noticed, because of where our hammocks are designed, our tarps are designed, if it's not raining, I usually open mine up. It's called porch mode, and I didn't do it. And it gives us just that little extra room when it's raining and sitting around. But with that said, Pam, I don't know who's outside where we was eating that stuff. I didn't know whose that setup was, but it was the big awning over the poles and stuff. So we all just hung out there while it's raining. But you need that outside area, for you can cook and serve and stuff like that. So that's where the tarp would be very valuable for your pickup. You can hook it to your camshell. It's like this. Here's the back of your truck, and you can hang that tarp over and double your living room basically on that. Your bed's just for your sleeping and changing clothes and storing stuff, but you could live right outside your tailgate. So I believe that tarp goes hand in hand with that because it extends the living space. But I know me and Blackie's talked a lot about this video. We get some done on this stuff. I've got a ton of editing to do. A ton. I still got 9 videos I got to edit and put up. But it was any other suggestions on that? You guys getting that? Any help, man? Because I know Blackie will watch this too, and we'll take these ideas into effect when we start shooting videos on this stuff. So, I've seen little frames that hook to the rear tires that you can set on like a step, but guys are using that for, set their stove on. It sits over top of the rear tire, on the vehicle, and it just sits there and it locks on top of the tire, the width. It's got like a shelf on it. And I thought, man, what a cool idea. You could sit in your chair and have your common stove up there, outside the tarp and on the side of the truck. That was a good idea. I was looking at ideas on the Reese hitch. Could you put a set of steps to get in your truck on the Reese hitch, like a fold down? Could you make that in a chair where you have a chair slide in the Reese hitch? Maybe a table slide in the Reese hitch, just like the hitch hauls. The hitch haul would be cool, flip it upside down. It'd make a pretty good table, wouldn't it? I mean, you could use that hitch for a lot of things. One thing I was working on is trying to come up with a hammock stand. I know you can buy them, but it's kind of hard to do because my hammock's so big. My hammock's a 12-footer double wide, and it'd take a lot of steel, to get me that far out. But another option, if you want to sleep outside, or you don't have a camp top in your truck. Oh, man. Anything else? Any ideas? Come on, guys, help me out. What else you think you would need, that you could work on? Tailgate, shelter system, how do I get longer poles in there, to hold that tarp up? I know they make collapsible poles. I got set off Johnson Frisbee. They look great. I sell them blue buckets. I sold every one of them but one. I love the blue buckets. They're a 30-pound blue bucket, 30 gallon, I guess. And it's a whole waterproof stuff. And they can sit out in the rain. That's another thing. If I can set stuff out in the rain and I'm not worried about it, it's more living space I have in the pickup truck. Lighting. Harbor Freight makes solar panels that you could do a small 12-volt battery. Run the lights inside. That way you're not running the truck battery down. But if you want to read a book at night time. How do you sleep in a hammock with your back? I can't sleep folded. I need a flat one. Blue, I sleep totally flat. I can get totally flat in my hammock. Uh, the first time, this is the truth, man. First time I ever got in a hammock was William Collins, Blackie Thomas, Mike Denny, and I think even a couple more. I think Jonathan Frisbee was there, and they lowered me in a hammock uh, because of my back. I have 12 screws and two titanium rods in there. I can't. So when you get in your hammock, and most professional hammocks or better hammocks will have a ridge line above your head. The hammocks that you buy at Walmart, they're not the same hammocks like we're talking about. They don't have a ridge line. The ridge line have two straps in the hammock, and you have a ridge line. They actually call it a whoopee sling. This string is adjustable. That's what I was trying to explain to my brother. If I come in with the whoopee sling, it makes more of a U shape. Okay? If I come out with a whoopee sling, which is called a berry, kind of crazy, it makes the hammock flatter on the curve. Okay, whichever, and they're kind of fidgety when you first get one. So when you lay in it, and I'm laying straight, you feel like a banana. I can hold my hand this way. You feel like a banana, and your feet are higher than your head. It's not the proper way to live in a hammock, to lay in a hammock. If you put that ridge line dead center between your eyes, and you go about 15-degree angle, here's my ridge line. Try to keep it straight on camera here. And I'm laying this way. Because of my size, I run a 12-foot double wide. My brother is smaller than me, and he was running 11-foot wide, but he said I kept sliding down the hammock. That's because we didn't have an adjuster. Once you get that hammock opened up wide, and you get that 15-degree angle, I can go totally flat in my hammock. I can actually fully lay on my side. I'm a side sleeper. A little bit of side sleeper. So I roll back and forth in that. So the modern day cuts, it's the way they cut in the hammock. So if you go to Walmart and you buy a hammock and it don't have a whoopee sling on it, and it's a very narrow hammock, tie material ain't 3, maybe 4 foot. I mean, I don't know what the width on mine is, but it's 2 people can get mine pretty easy. That's how I can sleep. You can't sleep folded. I need a flat one. Well, that's exactly, you can get flat. You can. It's amazing. Now, it's going to take time to find your specific. It took me, the first hammock I got from One Wind was 11-foot standard. I slept in it, but my feet would fall out. I couldn't get sideways. Then they got me 11-foot wide. And man, it was a lot better. And I was like, okay, I finally started to understand this angle stuff. And I was playing with the whoopee sling, just where I could stand it. Then I got the 12-foot double wide. And it's nothing. I can climb that thing, flop down, done. I'm on this shoulder right here. The hammock comes up the hill on this side. It's higher on this side. My feet are laying flat out there. It's not nice. Okay, Kelly said, I put a piece of angle iron off my truck camper and attached the Walmart tarp off the side. It kept me and Todd Gibson drives at Blackie Got Sweet. Simple. A piece of angle iron off the side of this truck camper. Little tips like that, guys. You know, I was always wondering how to anchor that tarp. You know, 2 pieces of metal hanging out the outside could anchor that thing in. Anchor your tarp in the back of it. So that's another one. So there you go, Kelly. I want to tell you about. Wait a minute, I got another one. When I set up my tent, opened the rear door open so I could get in the tent from my car and trunk up to cook. And the open 4-door, Volvo 940. Made it easy getting the tent and air mattress and sleeping bag. Man, you camping in a Volvo, we'd run you off of that. I love it. I love the ingenuity though, man. I'm just messing with you, man. But it's you know, right there, he just proved that he's running a 940 car, man. And he's going from his tent to his car. Excellent. Williamson's has bad knees, man. So one thing in the bushcraft, because I'm technically disabled, I can't bend over. I've invented stuff to put the stakes in for me. I can do my whole setup. Bushcraft is about learning. And because I'm hurt, William, you got bad knees, we have to do things different. And that's the ingenuity going back. You know, One thing about the bushcraft world, everybody knows I'm messed up, and they're the first ones to help me out. And but there's times I do it on myself to make sure I can still do it. And if I can't do it, I'll make it a T post off to help put my stakes in and pull them out. I'll show you that one day. Really simple, but it works for me. We have to always keep learning. Uh, I also have sleep apnea and put a 100-watt solar system on top of my camper and run my machine. There you go, Kelly. Now, 100-watt solar system. What's that per Is that one panel? Is that two panels from Harbor Freight? Uh, you know what I'm saying? What's 100 watt? I mean, I understand it, but I'm trying to explain it to other people that one solar panel can charge a battery through the day, and it's running a sleep apnea machine. You know, because we all have different needs and different ailments. The key to this is not stopping going camping. That's the key to the whole thing I'm getting at. You got bad knees, you got bad back, you got a bad hip, you got sleep apnea, you're overweight. Who cares? We'll find a way to get you through this. This is what I love. Get some knee pads. I bought a pair. I always keep them protected so you can crawl around. Hammerhound, I'll crawl around on my hands and knees putting tent stakes in. It is embarrassing, but I can do it. And if I was by myself, I'm going to have to. So it's good to know what your limitations are and how to do it. I can't get up on mine. I have to use a tree, which is embarrassing. Golden. I've had people pick me off the ground, but you know what? I got to the point where I don't care. You know why? Because I'm still doing it. I ain't going to quit. That's the trapping mentality. Weather is not an option, and there's no quit. You have to get up and check your traps every 24 hours. I don't care if it's an ice storm, rainstorm, floods, nothing. You go. That's your responsibility. I believe that's in my head. That's why I keep pushing, even though I'm hurt. Wing, my tennis automatic set up in less than 4 minutes. There you go, man. Anything easy, man. There was one guy down at my camp who snored so loud that nobody could sleep. I'm not saying who it was, but it didn't bother me any. Was that mean, Dean? I don't think I was snoring that bad that night. I know there's a couple guys getting it, but that's what happens, man, when we're camping. The tents are not, soundproof. Your cam top shut down will probably limit a lot more noise on that. I went to Trailhead, and the guy stood up next to me. I've never, ever heard someone snore that loud. And hanging around them white weenies, they get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go hiking. And they were shining the light right in my hand. Woke me up. I thought I was going to shoot the guy. I thought he was in my hand. That's how strong the beam was. We're going to have that. I do try to get away from everybody, try to separate a little bit, but there's just times we can't. If you're near us, I'm blaming Walker for his morning. Okay, Pam, yeah. I was down at the bottom of the hill, so no, I don't think that was us. You know where we was at, man. But I know I got up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, man. I had a pee bad, and it was dead quiet at camp. There was no wind. There was no movement. I didn't hear nobody snoring. I couldn't believe it. In fact, I was afraid of waking people up just peeing on the ground. It was that quiet there. So, William, that was me, big snore like a bear. My neighbors had a chipmunk fall into his tarp. Good one, man. One thing about camping, you know what's going to happen, man. I was down there to Jason Hunt during his gathering this year, and it was ungodly hot. Trinity was camping here, and Mike Denny was here, and Blackie Thomas was here, and it was a good time. And but where we were cooking on the ground, and because of his hammock stands down there, I was only about this far from the ground because they're not far enough apart from the 12-footer, so it really put me low to the ground. And daggone possum underneath me, and I could feel his back going underneath my back. And I opened up, oh, get out of here, man. And he was trying to get underneath me in the hammock, and he went by because he was snoring on the ground when we were cooking. So you're going to have that, man. I thought it was funny. He was kind of raising me up, trying to get underneath me. Yeah, she will all put warning signs out for the non-snorers. Lots of fun. No, man, it's cool. I mean, we're just going to have that. If you guys, I'm a light sleeper in the woods. I always have been. If somebody gets up, I can hear it. And yes, Jonathan Frisbee, I don't think he's on here today. Last year, he got up to relieve himself and run dead right into my hammock strap. I mean, I was in there, woo, woo. And John, oh, dad, coming. And he woke me dead up. I was dead asleep. And all I could do was laugh and listen to him cuss. And then guess what? He did it again this year. And I was like, really, man? He goes, I don't believe I did it the second time. Because there's so many guidelines around. You're trying to look at nighttime. But this is the fun we have, man. Yeah, he woke me up. Who cares? I was dying. I'm trying to get back to sleep, dying laughing because he's over there cussing again. I can't believe I did it twice. I said, we're going to have to put reflector tape up around my tent and keep him from running into. But that's what the fun is, man. Hey, do you know Blackie's having another gathering here in Alabama? It's going to be in the spring again. Look for the updates. We'll be going down there. He's the fall one was just a gathering. Just this one he just had with friends and stuff. He's the official gathering is always going to be in the spring. We moved it. He moved it in the fall because of the C word. Which is pretty hot down there. He's trying to have it in the spring in between the showers. Great guy, man. Just great times. It's about a 13-hour drive for me to get down there, but it's different now. Took my wife down there. It's the first time she hammock camped. She had a good time. It dropped very cold on her, which we couldn't believe. I told her, go down there. It'll be warm. It'll be nice, man. It's cold up here. And she like a crazy duck. Yeah. JJ from Fuel and Fire's got a tip. He brings earplugs. Never thought of that. Yeah, bring your earplugs, man, if you go in a storm, especially hammocks. You can hear every sound. Trust me, you're going to hear every sound. Well, what was that? Did you get hurt? It was bad. You're going to hear some stuff, man. One panel and 100 amp hour battery. That's what Kelly said. That's one panel, 100 watts of electricity. So that's a good thing. I know Harbor Freight, I was in there looking at their panels. They've got a bunch of selection of panels. So that's a good deal. Yeah, Bo said I'm planning on being there. I think talk his wife into coming. Get her to go, man. If you can keep mama happy and you can keep mama comfortable and warm and dry, she'll enjoy it. I mean, my wife, she's known me a long time. We've been married 35 years. She also seen me camp with furs and tarps, and that's it. She said, I'll never go camping with you. She has been camping with me if I take a tent and all the luxury stuff. And I don't blame her. She's just not into that. She likes her comfort. She likes to go relax. I took care of her down at Blackie. She had a wonderful time. It's just not the thing she's into. Me, I've just always got been in the woods, and she knows. But if I had a motor home, she probably wouldn't all the time. He'll be announced the week of December 10 Mark. Yeah. The Trapper Dan, he sleep with 40 dudes in the barracks snoring, coughing, fart. Earplugs are a must. Yeah, guys in the military would be bad, man. Thanks, Pam. I'll get my wife. Big Pam, get her. Oh, good cornbread. Heck, man. Don't talk cornbread. Dang, that was good. But yeah, I mean, if we can continue to do that, and you got to make it when you're starting into this. And a lot of people, like I know Trapper Dan's got a 2-year-old kid. He was like, man, I'm sorry. He was out Midwest. He wakes up early and screams. I just laughed about it, guys, because I've been there, done that. My daughter's 31 years old. I laugh about it now. When you get older, I don't know if you get more tolerant about it. But that'll get over that. And then the good times begin. When he gets old enough to talk and understanding more stuff. And he's talking now, but you know what I'm saying? It's good times. But we all got to make accommodations for your spouse and your little kids. And it doesn't matter because I watched little Henry, me and him, we loaded probably 2,000 tons of rock that day out Midwest in the gravel driveway. I go to a bushcraft show, and now I'm playing with a 2-year-old kid loading rock in the driveway, and I had a ball doing it. It was just it was funny, man. We was cracking up laughing. Pam, I think you and my wife get along really well. That's good because I noticed that the wives kind of clean together. They talk different than us. They're bored with us talking knives, knives and guns and stuff, so they can talk about their stuff. Uh, Guys, we're doing good on time. Uh, I know this is kind of like an improv too. I try to have these every now and then just to open up for really the conversation to go anywhere. Uh, you know what I'm saying? But I really wanted to say thanks to the guys at Central Ohio Bushcraft for putting this thing on. Glad to see all you guys, man. I met old friends, made new friends. It felt like family. Uh, the guys who didn't go, I encourage you to go. I know some of you guys over in England can't go, but it would be a ball to come over. There's a lot of bushcrafters in England. I'd love to go over there and see you guys over there. I had Brunswick stew and cornbread for dinner tonight. Shut up, bud. Cornbread, man. I tore that cornbread up there, man. Uh, it was. I love the cornbread, y'all, especially jalapeno cornbread. Man, was that good. Only had a little piece of it too. It went fast. I'm gonna have to make me some of that. But like I said, guys, you're all turning into a family for me, man. Every Thursday night I turn on and still amazed that you guys show up to listen to some old hillbilly talk. Uh, I'm still amazed at how good my channel does, and that's all for you guys. I love seeing you guys out there, and when I finally get to meet you, put a face to today, we all become family immediately. Like I said, we've got 4 minutes here. I need to change my comment on my banners over. You guys know what I ask you to do. I don't ask too much on this channel, but is remember our first responders. Uh, like I said every week, everybody hates to see them blue lights behind them, but they're also the first one there when you get in trouble, man. So I need you guys to give me 5 minutes of your time before we go to bed and say a prayer over these first responders. We're still not out of the woods yet with the sea crap going on. There's a lot going on. We don't talk about that on the channel, but I'm a firm believer that prayer helps us and helps this country grow. So do me a favor. That's all I ask from you for 5 minutes of your time. If not, and guys, please try to get that gathering. Even if it's a one-dayer, get new to it. If you're struggling on getting to a gathering, man, I just don't have the gear, man. I want to go, but I don't have the gear. Contact me, man. I know plenty of people on this channel that would be willing to set you up. It's all just loan to you. We're not giving nothing to you, but to get you out there. I think I wanted to really stress that tonight on this channel because I think we had some people turn up like, man, you guys are super bushcrafters. I can't compete with you guys. That's all crap, and you know it. So I don't want nobody feeling left out because you got a 16-year-old kid can't go, because they don't have a tent or a hammock. I don't believe in that, man. We can set them up. There's enough of you guys out there around me, and if we have a contact like that, I know Blackie's got extra hammocks. I got extra hammocks. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make sure we pass that along. I want to make sure, because I don't have nothing, I can't go. I don't like that. Are there any gatherings this fall? The next one I'm going to, Dean, is Fuel the Fire in Georgia Bushcraft. That will be in about 2 weeks. You can look it up on Facebook. I don't have all the stuff on there, but I'll be headed there. I'll have a class. I'm actually technically, officially, but unofficially a Fuel the Fire instructor. I think I am a Fuel the Fire instructor, but I will be putting on another trapping class down there. Not a long one, but it's for the beginners. I had Fuel the Fire last year up in northern Georgia. What a ball. Great facility. This time I'm going farther south. So that's where I'll be. Look that up. Bo, I really want to meet y'all in person. Consider y'all good friends already. Absolutely, Bo. I know you, bro. You've been on here, faithful follower, man. Anything goes. every day's a party. I wish you luck. Every day is a party. You guys should be more happy because things fall apart really quick, like it did 2 weeks ago. House and water softener, and I didn't mean to bore you on that, but I got editing to do and stuff, and it all falls apart. And that's called life. I can't help it. Guys, like I said, thank you for everything you did for my channel. Thank you for helping me get monetized. Glad to see everybody there at the week. I'm telling you, it's like a family reunion, which the family you like. Not all families you like. This family I really like. But it's bring a guitar and I'll bring mine. Well, Bo, I suck, but we'll try it. I can't carry a tune in the bucket and I can't play a note, but I sure have fun doing it, man. I've tried to play classic guitar up there, and that neck's too wide for me. That was really messing me up. And bring the kids, the knowledge shared, a hog. But the kids were awesome. We had a great time. Thanks, Pam. And the kids had a ball. When you see young kids hitting the fire channels, I was amazed. They were slamming. And, of course, Trinity had to show off. She won the fire challenge blowing water, which I expect her to. But, it's bring the kids. This is a family-oriented deal, guys. I don't know if I told you that. There was a little bit of adult beverages there, but we were told to keep them, legit. You know what I'm saying? We ain't going to ruin this good time. We're not out there to fall down stupid, and everybody kept maintaining. It was cool. You didn't even see it. I didn't see it. So that's good. But it's cool. We have some adult beverages there, and leave it at that. We're all grown up. We all know how to take care of ourselves. So I like keeping it family oriented. So after the fires are lit and the sun goes down, if you want to take a little sip here and there, it's good. Just keep it in check. Other than that, man, it's 9:01, guys. I can't believe 2 hours went that fast again. Like I said, do me a favor. I need 5 minutes of your time for a prayer on first responders. I think that helps us out, helps the country out. I had a ball. Next week, I'm going to have a special guest. I'll be in contact with him this next couple of days. You know who you are out there. Give me a shout. We're going to get together. We're going to talk about, I believe we're going to talk about freeze drying next week. And I will be posting that early to make a big show because this guy knows his stuff about freeze dryers. And I think it's good knowledge, understanding. Is it worth the money to do this? Is it worth the time to do this? He started telling me about it, and I would not talk about it because I want to go in green with him because I'm a newbie on this. So I want to keep my questions fresh, the same question you would have. So look forward to next week about freeze drying, and then maybe the following week we're going to talk about bees and stuff. So I think it'll be a good show. Guys, I'm running over, as I always do. Appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much for your time, and be looking forward to next week. God willing. Guys, see you later. Bye.